The WagerTalk You Pick special is live, giving you the option to pick the league of your choice and get 30 days of picks for only $99. 30 days of the NFL for $99, done. Just want NBA and NHL for the next month? You can do that for only $99 each. That's right, 99 gets you every release from the league of your choice from your favorite handicapper, including 5% best bets for 30 days. No coupon code is required, and 30-day sports passes will go back to regular price Sunday at midnight. So lock in as many sports and handicappers for only $99 before time runs out.
Hey guys, welcome in and happy Monday to you. It is the 15th of November already. Kind of crazy when you think about it, but we've got some NBA to talk about on a loaded card here today. And of course, we'll do it, guys, with three of the best at WagerTalk.com. And the prop god himself, Mr. Andy Lang, is in the house, as well as Mr. Tony Mejia. And there he is, Swiss Miss. He's in the house, man. He promises not. And you've been doing fantastic, Kevin Dolan. I do want to say we have not Swiss flagged you once yet this year. It's been fantastic. You've come a long way since last year, where pretty much most people thought you were just a flag. So always good to see you there, Kevin Dolan. Andy, talk to me, man. The prop market continuing to thrive, as are your clients backing you in that prop market. Talk to me about how the weekend was and what do you got going on $9 Monday here at Wager Talk.
Weekend was you mentioned Swiss. Weekend was Swiss. It was about 50%. Nothing terrible, nothing great. Got burned last night on a couple blowouts. Blowouts are where the over dies in the player prop market. But we got a great card tonight. About 4 or 5 props for clients tonight. Should have a really nice bounce back. The nice thing about having a blah weekend is you're looking for a really good Monday, and everything's only $9. So it should be a great NBA card tonight.
Can't go wrong. $9 Monday rules, and I know you, Mejia. I know you got you are locked and loaded here. How was the weekend, man? And what's in store tonight?
Yeah, I mean, a little college basketball this weekend, a little NBA just for the clients. No packages. It was mostly a football weekend. It was. I mean, I think I was ahead both Saturday and Sunday, but minimal. And Saturday I had back-to-back last-second losses. That Florida State-Miami game you're probably aware of was a 4th down conversion away from Jordan Travis, who never passes the ball well, from cashing Miami. Then Tulane missed a chip shot field goal, ended up losing in overtime to Tulsa. I was on the green wave. So that killed a otherwise really good Saturday. And then Sunday, at least, the Chiefs covered on my 5% play. So I'm 5-0 in my last 5% plays, and I think it's a 7-1, 8-1 run. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, we're now back to the grind with everything going on, including some soccer World Cup qualifying, obviously college and NBA basketball, a little Monday Night Football, and then looking ahead to college football, which begins tomorrow. So as always, the grind continues.
Hey, man, $9 Monday, guys. You can visit Tony Mejia at Wager Talk. You can also visit Kevin Dolan, my man. How was the weekend for you, and what do you got in store for us here tonight at Wager Talk?
Yeah, it was all good, Joe. Came off a nice 5% winner on the Brooklyn Nets last night. Pretty happy with that. That's actually takes us on a wee 71-45 run now. Our last 116 NBA plays and all 61.2%. So pretty happy with that too. And yeah, we've got an NBA triple pack loaded up for tonight. Working on the college football card also. Hopefully that's up on the next hour or two after this show. And as you said, both packages up for only $9. And yeah, apart from all that, look, need a shave and ready to talk some NBA and break down a few of these games in today's show.
All right, look at the Grizzly Adams effect in the house with him. All right, so there's only one place we can start the show, guys. And, of course, that is with our contrarian play of the day, which, of course, guys, was a winner chicken dinner on Friday. It was about as disgusting a contrarian win as you're going to see. Most of them are, but we want to thank Kevin Durant for not making both the free throws there for the against the Pelicans on Friday with 1 second left on the clock and giving us the win. So the Pelicans cash on Friday, and we are going to look at just as bad a team here tonight because I don't understand the line. This team is not nearly as good as everyone thinks they are. This is the Memphis Grizzlies, and I am not sure how the worst defensive team in the NBA is somehow laying 11.5. And granted, the Rockets suck, but come on. 11.5 points is obnoxious here. So, Andy, let me start with you. From a prop betting market, are you holding your? I know you don't like necessarily looking at Memphis here from a prop betting perspective, but is there anything that you like in this game tonight?
There's a few ways you go about it. First prop I like Christian Wood over 1.5 temper tantrums. He's gone over this total in 2 out of 3 games. Last night got hit with an elbow, slammed the ball down, got a tech, didn't come back in the game. So he's on quite the run for temper tantrums. No, in all seriousness, I like John Morant over. I like John Morant over 13.5 rebounds plus assists. He's been really active, gone over this total pretty easily in 4 straight games: 14, 15, 18, and 19. And we know Houston back-to-back, not good on defense. So really been impressed with what John Morant's been doing, assists and rebounds. I'll go Desmond Bane under 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's gone under this in 5 straight games. Shooting has been really bad. He only has 2 assists total in the last 3 games. He's not packing the stat sheet at all. The under here is a good play. And I'm going to try and go with Jalen Green as my favorite bet, under 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists. This is a back-to-back. And the last back-to-back that Houston had, they got beat pretty bad the second night. And the Rockets, they just played their entire team. So when you have the minutes spread out across, 12, 13 guys, it makes for a lot of unders. And Green has gone under the total in 4 out of 5. And the second game of the back-to-back last time, he had 9 points and 2 assists. You got to wonder if the schedule kind of wears on a young guy like that. So I think there's a really, really good spot to look at some Houston Rockets unders as the minutes are going to be spread. And Jalen Green's where I'm going with my favorite bet, under 19.5 PRA.
Our good stuff there. Kevin Porter Jr., I believe, for the Rockets is probable. Eric Gordon listed as questionable here, Tony Mejia. But, I mean, I'm sorry. When we're talking about defense, we're probably not even considering talking about the Memphis Grizzlies. They're atrocious there. They have some wins this year, maybe that they're a little questionable there. Luck was always a good thing to have, but are they 11.5 points better than the Houston Rockets?
In a word, yes. But certainly this is the highest spread they've had all season. Previous to this, it was 7 that they laid against Cleveland to start the season. So first double-digit spread of the season. Obviously the contrarian gods are backing Houston here because nobody wants to back the Rockets. But you're saying, why would anybody want to back the Grizzlies given the defense they played? I backed the Grizzlies the other night against the Suns. I thought John Morant would really get up for a game against Chris Paul, considering Paul has dominated them throughout his career. And Morant did come to play. He was the only player on the Grizzlies who actually did, though, and they fell 119-94. They followed that up with a loss in New Orleans over the weekend the next night by 11 points. So I hear you with what you're saying. I don't know how the Grizzlies are favored by double digits other than the Rockets are playing their 4th game in 6 nights. And this is probably one of those situations where they would love to dust John Wall off for a one-off, just to get you out there with some fresh legs, drop 25 and 8 assists and remind people you can still play so we can get you the hell out of here. But that situation is probably headed to a buyout. We won't see Wall tonight. We will see Dillon Brooks, who's back for the Grizzlies. And that's one reason why Desmond Bane's numbers have fallen off and why I probably agree with Andy that he won't hit his points, rebounds, assists total tonight. But I do think that the depth is going to be a major concern for the Grizzlies, for the Rockets in this one. Again, 4th game in 6 nights, not a situation we see anymore once they negotiated the back-to-back situation down with the past CBA. So young team, continues to lose games, loses pretty much all of them by double digits. I don't have high hopes for the Rockets. Not a game I'm going to touch, but just to flick the contrarian gods in the ear a little bit, we'll back the Grizzlies. Start the week on a contrarian to the contrarian.
All right. Basically, thumbing his nose up at the contrarian gods there, Kevin Dolan. I know you know better than that, but I mean, let's listen. Last night we watched the Rockets turn the ball over 23 times. And then, of course, that affected their shooting. They were atrocious from three. But the reality is, Phoenix plays defense. Memphis will not. So, are you willing to back the contrarian gods and look a little bit at Houston Rockets tonight plus the points?
Yeah, definitely, Joe. I mean, like, you can't take this as an endorsement of this Houston team. This team stinks. Sorry to Robert in production, but I just think the line's too big here. And I just, you mentioned all the problems, the Grizzlies have. It's hard to be impressed with them late. Memphis gave up 9 turnovers in Saturday night's loss. I mean, against the Pelicans, that was good for second best in the league, and they still ended up getting smashed by New Orleans in that game. Continually playing catch up. And we're down by 22 points at one point. On top of that, the Grizzlies ranked dead last in the league this season, opponent assists per game. They've given up 29.7 assists per game on average over the last 3 starts, all losses, obviously. And that's rock bottom in the league, not even close to second worst. So as bad as this Houston team are right now, and it's pretty bad, whenever I see this Memphis team, being priced up, Tony said it's the first time being priced up as double-digit favorites. I can't, it doesn't matter who they're playing. I got to start looking the other way. So, I'll definitely take a piece of Houston here on this one plus 11.5.
All right. Well, there you got it here, guys. The contrarian play of the day. Hold your nose. We did it on Friday with the Pelicans, and that was a winner. We're going to try to do it again here tonight with the Rockets as they find themselves in a double-digit dog situation on the road, taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. All right, we are going to take a look at our first featured matchup here tonight. And boy, oh boy, man, rags to riches. What is going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers? They're taking on the Boston Celtics here tonight. And Tony Mejia, this Cleveland team, we said it a couple of weeks ago, we actually cashed a number of tickets from a contrarian spot. The market just refused to believe that Cleveland might be any good, but they are, I believe, the best ATS team in the league right now. They've been phenomenal, and yet they find themselves in a familiar spot here with the Celtics being a 2.5-point favorite on the road. What do you think? You got any Cleveland Cavalier love left in you?
I've got a lot to love for the Cavs. My buddy Andy Lang knows because we did the prop show together to preview the season. I got a ticket on Cleveland over 26.5 or 27.5 wins that I'm feeling pretty good about. I thought they would be improved. I did not think that Evan Mobley would be the front runner for Rookie of the Year, which he currently is. Just the fact that they've done it with guys being injured. I mean, we see Colin Sexton out now. I think that is music to Darius Garland's ears, and we've seen Garland really step up with Sexton out as a primary ball handler. He's more of a prototypical point guard, obviously, than Sexton. Looks to get all the other guys involved. You got Ricky Rubio coming off the bench, so it really is a solid team despite being shorthanded, and they have Isaac Okoro back. Obviously, the Celtics are without Jaylen Brown, a major piece to what they're able to do, and they should get Al Horford into the mix despite a back issue tonight. And these teams played on Saturday night. And what stands out most to me, did you see that total, Joe? 199.5?
Yep.
Are we in 1990?
Mm-hmm.
Man. And look, it was 91-89 on Saturday, and it was 20-9 Boston after one. So I think that we're headed to another low-scoring game. That's where I'm looking here. I think that every total under 202, I think I'm going to play under from now on because these numbers are changing a little bit in terms of guys are getting more used to the rules, and I think you'll see in December that we'll get more touch fouls. But right now, it's still we're going to be sticklers as far as the referees go in not giving you bailout calls and allowing contact at the rim and just getting you back used to this new style of play that really has scoring down. So two teams like this that just faced off against one another in a tight game, I think we'll see lulls. I think without Jaylen Brown, you get into a situation where the Celtics struggle for offense. Their last play the other night was a Dennis Schroeder, I'm going to dribble around for 15 seconds and take a contested runner at the buzzer. So more magical offense for both of these teams. Give me the under here. And yeah, if the Cavs want to pick up another win to add to my win total, I'd love to see it.
10-3-1 against the number this year. 8 outright wins in 13 of those. So talk to me here, Kevin Dolan. Are you a believer in the Cleveland Cavaliers here tonight?
Not tonight, Joe. I got to look towards my team, the Celtics here, taking care of business as short road favourites. I agree with Tony on the under too. The Celtics, in that game on Saturday, they led for most of the game. They were up by 19, looked to be cruising, 72-53 late in the third quarter. Absolutely choked it out in the fourth. 15 points total over the last 12 minutes of that game. Cleveland went on a huge 24-4 scoring run as well. So, I just feel with Bickerstaff and so on, praising Cleveland as the team who displayed the superior, mental and physical toughness, which was the words used to describe that game on Saturday. Yeah, you got to imagine the Celtics are going to, try and bounce back hard here, because of that. As I said, on the side, I lean Boston. And as I said, I agree with Tony as well in the under. I think Boston will shut this Cavs team down tonight. And in fairness, they were doing a pretty good job of it on Saturday as well before, the late game collapse. So I think Boston gets some revenge here and likely get the win and cover tonight as well on the road against the Cavaliers.
Yeah, I obviously having Horford and Richardson back gives them a little more depth here to Celtics tonight. They were not in that game over the weekend. So what do you do here, Andy? Tony pointed it out. 199 is the top. 199, Andy. Good Lord. Tell me, how do you approach the prop market in a game like this?
Well, my best bet for the show is actually in this game. We'll do that at the end of the show. No shock, it's an under. Here's a very obscure under. Dean Wade under 3.5 rebounds. He's gone under this total in 8 out of 11 games this season, including 4 straight. Last game against Boston, he only had 1 rebound. And this play is plus 125. So we get a number that seems a bit inflated, and we get it at a great price. So when you look at Dean Wade's stat sheet, the only thing that comes to mind is he must be a locker room guy. That must be his big contribution on the show. And Tony already mentioned it. Darius Garland's been a really, really good over for points, rebounds, and assists since Sexton's gone out. And I like the over 26.5. It's one of the few overs in this game I like. Garland's been really good. He went for 21, 2, and 7 against Detroit, but who doesn't? And then he went for 22, 4, and 6. It's a total of 32 points, rebounds, and assists against Boston in that really low scoring game. Number seems a bit low. He's been really productive. He's really settling in. Been great in all 3 categories. When you're looking at points, rebounds, and assists, you don't want one dominating category. You want all 3. And he is. Boston is middle of the road against point guards. Since Jaylen Brown went out, though, they've been a little bit worse against point guards. So Garland should have a good night. I think this 26.5 is it's actually really, really generous. It's my favorite bet. I almost made this my favorite bet for the show, but I like another one. But this is worth your attention for prop bettors.
All right, there you go. Good stuff here, guys. We'll move on. Featured game number 2 here tonight. Where else? The Staples Center. Who better to look at than the Lakers now hosting the Chicago Bulls, who, guys, that was an impressive win over the Clippers last night. Clippers had, I believe, the longest winning streak in the association so far this year. Snapped last night as the Bulls came to play, and boy, did they get waxed by Golden State on Friday. So great spot in that one. Played the Clippers last night. Now they're taking the Lakers tonight. So Kevin Dolan, I'll come to you here. What do you think here? The Lakers, this is kind of a pick 'em price. Lakers opened up as only a 1-point favorite, and now I'm seeing the Bulls as a 1-point favorite. So not a lot of love for the Lakers at home. What do you think?
It's a tricky one for me, Joe, because power rankings wise, at least, I think Chicago Bulls are the play here. I made them around a 4-point favorite in this one. So, laying just -1.5 here, that's a sizable enough difference to usually get me looking at Chicago in this one. But I just can't do it. Final home game for the Lakers here before they go on a 5-game road trip out east. They've got a fairly pedestrian 7-4 record at home this season as well. But in only 2 of those games at home this year have the Lakers been installed as underdogs. once against NBA finalist the Phoenix Suns back on October 22nd. Kind of expected that, obviously. Suns came in as one of the top teams in the West. And once against probably one of the hottest teams to start the NBA season, the Miami Heat. And they ended up winning that game outright. So, the Lakers do circle the wagons when they feel they're getting a bit disrespected in these kind of spots. And this is likely one of them tonight. I have to think, despite the line value potentially on the Bulls tonight, for the Lakers to go in here, as home underdogs against the Bulls team who ranked 16th down the list on season win totals, before the season started. You'd imagine it has to bring out a bit of the beast tonight in LA. So, I think there's line value in Chicago, like power rankings wise. I do think they're actually the better team, but I think the situation actually favors the Lakers more tonight to come out and handle business on home court. So stay away from me with the two, different opinions. But, if I had to play it would be the Lakers.
It would. All right, Lynn, the Lakers, 94 straight up and against the number is what the Chicago Bulls team is. It should be noted, no Vucevic again tonight, but Kobe White sounds like he's going to make his debut tonight. So a little bit of depth here for this Bulls team. What are you going to do, Andy, from a prop market here? Is it just Anthony Davis, points over? I mean, what are you going to do here tonight?
You read my mind. I got two others before we get that. Look at Lonzo Ball. Look at Lonzo Ball under 13.5 points. He's just not been shooting the ball well. Does not have to be a scorer on this team. He's gone under this total in 8 out of 9 games. One game he went over. He went 7 of 10 from 3-point. I doubt that's going to occur again. Not taking a lot of shots, not making a lot of them, but again, that's not really his role. They've been doing well without him being a scorer. So look for him under 13.5 points. And I have to change my mind on this one from earlier in the season. Russell Westbrook, they keep hanging this number over 4.5 turnovers. And he's had 7, 5, 8, and 7, and 6 in his last 5 games. And it's still plus money. So if you're getting this at plus money, and I mean, when Westbrook gets on the court with Levine and Lonzo and Durant, you can just see the ball flying into the stands. Souvenirs for everybody. So I'll take him over. And then, yes, we got to mention Anthony Davis. I'm going to take 36.5 points and rebounds. I'm going to leave the assists out of it. So we'll just take points and rebounds. Gone over this total for our last 5 games. I liked last night what he did against San Antonio. They didn't have Pirtle, so they didn't have the size inside. Davis goes for 34 points, 15 rebounds. You mentioned Vucevic is out tonight. I know Kobe White's back, but not really a fair matchup. So Davis should be able to do whatever he wants down low. He's been playing a lot of minutes. And even in his last back-to-back situation, he played a lot of minutes in the second night. So look for a lot of minutes and a lot of stats from AD. 36.5 points and rebounds is where I'm going. Favorite bet in this game.
Oh, all right. Good stuff there. It's like kind of a homecoming of sorts here as well, isn't it? I believe DeRozan's from L.A., obviously. Ball is from L.A. There's a couple of guys here from the market, so a lot of friends and family there for the Chicago Bulls. What do you think, though, Tony? You think they can beat 2 LA teams in 24 hours?
They can, but you mentioned where I'm going with this. It's a game that the Bulls are obviously going to be very engaged in because of the reasons you mentioned it, those local ties. You didn't hit on Alex Caruso, who's back now facing his former team. And on the other end, you've got Anthony Davis, always likes to show up against Chicago. That's his hometown. I just don't know which way this is going from a score standpoint, because I think it's going to be a toss-up as far as whoever has the ball last wins this game. And from that standpoint, the pick'em is fine. 216-ish for the total. I want to say that both teams are going to defend well, and I'm going to go ahead and stick with the under trend, even though the Lakers have had success lately at home in games that they find the offense, and they have Talen Horton-Tucker back, which is obviously a big boost for their bench. But the Lakers are the bigger team here with Davis set to play major minutes and Dwight Howard coming in off the bench, and they're going to be able to impose their will on the boards. And the Bulls are more of a half-court style team. They're catering to DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine there. You hope that Lonzo Ball doesn't get hot from the perimeter. They're playing 4 guards with Caruso playing, and Donovan hasn't really figured out his rotations yet because Alize Johnson went from being one of the top rebounders that they were counting on in Vooch's absence to not playing at all last night. And they've obviously got Tony Bradley as well. He doesn't give you much offense. He's more of a lob guy. But defensively, he can protect the rim. So this looks to me like a game that is going to be tightly contested. So figures to slow down the stretch, and I'm going to take my chances and back the under.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they use White. I mean, no camp, no nothing. So this will be the first action he's seen in a long time after shoulder surgery, and I'm wondering how much money's going to come in late on the Lakers. I'm wondering because we know that Laker money comes in late, so it'll be interesting to see if it flips again or does it go more towards the Bulls. All right, guys, we got one more game here on tap, and of course, it's our overtime matchup. We take a look at a total here on the board, and what better way to look at a overtime game here than I believe the Phoenix Suns on the board taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves were the highest total as of a little while ago. Anyway, opened up at 222.5. 223 rather. It's split between the 222.5, 223. It's holding solid here, but Andy, I'll start with you on this matchup here. Obviously, the highest total on the board for these two teams. Do you trust there to be an over situation, or is everything you're looking at catered to the under here?
Well, yeah, since it's overtime, I needed to find an over for this, and I'm going to go right back to Karl Anthony Towns. He's coming off just an absolutely miserable game, 8 points. He was 3 of 11 from the field, 0 for 5 from three-pointers. But before that, 4 for 8 from threes, 5 for 10. I feel like in the prop world, sometimes when a player has a bad game, we forget about him for a couple games, and it's a really, really nice rebound spot. Suns are coming off of back-to-back as well. The Suns I find really tough from a prop market. I can never find streaks. I can never find trends. I can never find continuity, which is good for them. It's just bad for props. So one I would also look at is Anthony Edwards under his rebounds. He was getting a lot of rebounds earlier in the season, but it seems like they're now releasing him and letting other guys get the rebounds. He had a crazy rebounding night against the Clippers. He had 9, which is a really high total for them. But before that, 3, 5, 1, 3. So I'm looking for a couple of little bounce backs and regressions. So Anthony Edwards under his rebounds and Karl Anthony Towns over his points.
Oh, I'm shocked you didn't go Kaminsky there. All right, so talk to me here. Talk to me, Tony Mejia. It is the second game here, 24 hours for Phoenix, who really didn't. They played that G League team called the Houston Rockets. I kid them. Because I need them to win tonight, but or at least cover here tonight. But talk to me here. Do you trust that this is an over situation here between these two teams?
I think so, just because the Timberwolves are involved, and they've given up 123 or more points in 3 of their last 4 games, mind you, all on the road. But even at home, that's they're going to want to push tempo. They haven't been really good at home either. They've lost their last 5 games at well, I don't know if they still name it the Target Center. It might be something new now. But the bottom line is they lost to New Orleans, Denver, Orlando, and both Los Angeles teams, and really have only looked decent in exterminating the Lakers and then giving the Grizzlies a tough time in Memphis to start that trip, where Anthony Edwards went crazy. And I think they're still trying to find that niche where Edwards and Towns and Russell can all get off. When that happens, and it happened late last season, that's when the Timberwolves are at their best because they've got guys that they can plug in to do the defensive dirty work. And Phoenix, they're one of the better defensive teams in the Western Conference, but you see that odds makers have seen their totals hover around the 220 mark because they've been hitting them of late, and they've won 8 straight, and 3 of those 8 have been on the road. They handled the Kings, the Grizzlies, and the Rockets, and are playing good basketball despite not having DeAndre Ayton in the lineup. And when Ayton comes back, they're better around the rim because he's so efficient down there. Right now, they've been getting by with JaVale McGee and the aforementioned Frank Kaminsky, who's really stepped up. And when Kaminsky's out there for extended minutes, you have somebody that opposing offenses like to pick on. They like to put him in pick and rolls, like to challenge him to protect the rim. So certainly the athleticism of Edwards and the versatility of Karl Anthony Towns comes into play there. So I think the Suns win. The Timberwolves have a chance at covering, but my play on this, since it is overtime, we'll ride with the over. Try not to make it too complicated, and hope that Chris Paul and Devin Booker shoot the ball well. Because if so, the efficiency will take care of business there.
Yeah, it's and they've done a great job here, Kev, Minnesota, of sucking one game, playing really well the next, then they're terrible, and everything. So they were great against the Lakers, I think, on Friday. Then they were just awful against the Clippers. So what do you think here? Is it an over spot for you if Minnesota's shooting well?
Yeah, I probably would have to look over, in fairness, Joe. As you said, like Minnesota were like an absolute sieve in Saturday night's loss to the Clippers. You know, it allowed LA to shoot 53.5% from the field. That was third worst in the league. I mean, the damage could have been even worse as well if the Clippers could have hit more threes in that one. You know, converted just 16 of 40 from downtown in that game. But, you know, they did get the Towns. That hampered Minnesota, obviously. In that game, as you know, he's obviously the Wolves' main threat, and you'd have to expect Phoenix actually to come out with a similar game plan to what the Clippers come out with. In that one, I like Phoenix from a side perspective. I think we're getting a bit of a value on the back-to-back here, but in terms of the total, it would be a small lean to the over, but probably nothing more than that.
I do want to say congratulations because I believe you were on the Minnesota Timberwolves against the Lakers there. It was a good spot there to back them on Friday. Not such a great spot on Saturday for sure. All right, there you got it, guys. We got those games. Now it is time to slap 60 seconds on the clock and give these guys an opportunity. It's a big card here tonight in the association, and, of course, they can go anywhere they want here for best bets. And let's do it here, Andy. We're starting with you. 60 seconds on the clock. Go ahead. Throw that clock. Talk to me. What do you got tonight?
Best bet is Al Horford under 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You know, he started the year really strong. Now Robert Williams is starting to absorb a lot of those stats, and Horford has gone under this total in 4 straight games. Doesn't have a double-double in those 4 games. He started off the year with 6 straight double-doubles. Cleveland does a good job against the center position. They're 13th in the league against allowing stats to centers. So I look for Robert Williams to have a better game than Horford, and to Horford to come up just short of this 22.5. It's my best bet. Also got to give a little love to my Pacers. I love them tonight as an underdog against the Knicks. I did an article on the Knicks, and it's surprising. The Knicks only have 2 wins the last 7 games, and they're very unimpressive. They beat the 76ers the night that they got hit with all the COVID outages, and then they beat a depleted Milwaukee team. Those are their only 2 wins in the last 7. Pacers are coming off some good wins. That win at Utah was about as impressive as it gets. Pretty stunned at this line. All numbers for me point to the Pacers winning outright as an underdog. So I give you 2 best bets there.
Oh, look at it. Yeah, nice. Very impressive. And, Andy, you just could not resist trying to give yourself some, trying to get some Indiana Pacer love here on the show. And by the way, I do want to mention, guys, if you haven't had a chance, I know Tony Mejia obviously does a ton of writing for the Gold Sheet, though, and Andy mentioned he wrote the article. If you guys head over to WagerTalk.com, the news page there is fantastic. Great articles across the board, all sports, and the games of the day and the upcoming games. Really cool stuff. Visit WagerTalk.com, guys. Look for that news feed. You're going to love it. All right, Mejia, you are up. 60 seconds on the clock, my man. Tell me, where are you going here tonight?
Well, yeah, and just to plug the Gold Sheet a little more, I've been doing a ton of write-ups for next week's college football. We're in November, so it's nitty-gritty time. And then, you said it. We're breaking out football previews. The whole staff. Basketball is now on the horizon, so a lot of people have turned their attention to that. I know there's soccer write-ups, so shout out to the Wager Talk news feed that's about to blow up. So good on that. Who's not blowing up is the Orlando Magic. They are predictably terrible. And Jalen Suggs took part in shoot-around this morning, so hopefully he'll come back. It was kind of a buzz kill for them just because they're out there getting seasoning. They're really not playing for much other than getting these guys experience. And he turned an ankle the other night against Washington and yet another double-digit loss, whereas the Hawks came home after a lengthy road trip and took care of the Bucks, leading by 14 after a half. I think they'll lead by 6 after a half tonight against Orlando. Lay the points in the first half, laying 6.
You can just keep hammering the buzzer there, Dan. You'll get it. By the way, that's the WagerTalk.com site, guys. If you head over there, You can get all the articles Tony is talking about. I'm shocked that he went with the Orlando Magic, seeing how he's a season ticket holder and lives right down the road, never goes to a game.
Fading the Magic. Fading the Magic.
It's always. I think your season tickets just so you can fade their ass. I know what's going on. All right, Kev, talk to me here, man. 60 seconds on the clock. Best bet time. Where are you going tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Sacramento Kings tonight. Joe laying 4.5 on the road in Detroit. The Kings are coming off 4 straight losses right now. Obviously, the worst stretch of the season. And I actually gave them out as my best bet on Friday's show as well against OKC. And, they were absolutely cruising in that one, up 18 midway through the third quarter before, similar to Boston, the wheels came off and they ended up losing that game outright. Switch over to tonight, though. I do think we see a bounce back from Sacramento here. They've had a couple of days off to prepare. Still time to salvage something from this 4-game road trip as well. And they're facing the worst offensive team in the league this season in Detroit. Bottom in offensive efficiency, bottom in effective field goal percentage, bottom in three-point shooting. I mean, if Sacramento can't win this one tonight, and win it big by margin, then, some serious questions need to be asked of Luke Walton and co. So, Sacramento for me in this one tonight against Detroit, best bet.
All right, good stuff there. Go ahead, hit the buzzer anyway for him. That's all right. There you go. Thank you very much. All right, Dan filling in for Robert here today. Appreciate it. And I do want to mention here, guys, once again, $9 Monday. So best bets up at WagerTalk.com. $9. You just got to head over there right now. You can visit Andy's page. Props are locked and loaded, like he said. And, of course, Tony Mejia and Kevin Dolan ready to go. The recap one more time here, guys. Andy's best bet today, Al Horford, under 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Oh, and yeah, I forgot to mention he wrote an article about the Pacers, plus 3.5 there. Mejia likes the Hawks in the first half, laying 6. Of course you do. They're home. And Kevin Dolan likes the Kings, minus 4.5. And I will say, if you had the first bit of news that we would get about Walton being on the hot seat, if you had said November, congratulations, because that's exactly what is being written all over. Luke Walton's getting fired again. A month ago, he was great. Now he sucks again. It's as the NBA turns. Kind of funny there. All right, guys, visit them at WagerTalk.com. Don't forget, contrarian play tonight. Houston, take the 11.5. I know as terrible as it is. Go ahead. Back the Houston Rockets here tonight, taking on the overrated Memphis Grizzlies. Appreciate it, guys. Hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. And, of course, we'll be back again tomorrow with another edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show. In the meantime, best of luck with your plays, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
The Wager Talk You Pick special is live, giving you the option to pick the league of your choice and get 30 days of picks for only $99. 30 days of the NFL for $99, done. Just want NBA and NHL for the next month? You can do that for only $99 each. That's right, $99 gets you every release from the league of your choice from your favorite handicapper, including 5% best bets for 30 days. No coupon code is required, and 30-day sports passes will go back to regular price Sunday at midnight. So lock in as many sports and handicappers for only $99 before time runs out.